welcome back. Last video we built a Kubernetes cluster from scratch and got Kmesh installed on it. But we never actually put an app on that mesh. So today's the day we are deploying our very first app with Kmesh, managing its traffic, and we are going to prove that it's actually working. So let's start by making sure our cluster from the last time is working. You can use kubectl get nodes, and if your cluster is not working, then you can follow steps from the video one. As you can see, it's ready. So Kmesh itself is healthy. So let's just also confirm it by this command. And yes, you can see that it's running. So good. Now, before we deploy anything, we need one more tool that is KMesh CTL. So it is kubectl, but specifically for looking inside KMesh. So we didn't need it last time, but we will need it today. So we do it by this command. We must grab the CLI based on our version of KMesh. And yes, it is downloaded. So just like last video, we will tell the Linux that it's runnable. So how we will do it, we will first we would say that it's binary. You can see ELF 64-bit. Then we would give it permission to be runnable. Also assign the path. So path is also assigned here. Now here's the one thing that actually turns on Kmesh for our workload. So Kmesh isn't touching anything in your cluster. It only manages pods that live inside namespace we have opted in. So we do that with a single label. So we do it by this opt for the default namespace into Kmesh data plane. So we have labeled. Let's just double check it by this command that is getting it. Cool. Now we can see that Kimesh right next to default. So from this point on, any pod we deploy in this namespace gets automatically picked up by eBPF programs. So there is no sidecar container which gets injected. There is no need of nothing needs to be restarted. That label alone is doing all the work. So now let's just deploy our first app. So what we are doing is we are using HTTP bin, which is very well known test service that just echoes back whatever we send it. So it's same way that Kmish like Kmish documents also use it for first run. It's that simple and it has zero surprises. Hence we deploy the HTTP bin. This command deploys HTTP bin service pod, services and pod. So if you want to apply your own app, so what you will do is you will go into your repo and then click the raw button to get the raw file URL and you can pass it here as we have passed HTTP bin from Istio. So you can see that it has created deployments and services and all. So we will also deploy a small sleep pod. It's just a container with curl install, and we will use it to act as real client sending request to mesh. That is, it can act as client here. So this command helps us deploy small, that is minimal client pod. Let's watch both come up. So we had an error that it could not connect to server, but once we ran it, it is successfully created. Now let's just watch both up. So as you can see, both are running. Let's send a request, HTTP request to the mesh via this command. So here, as we can see that we have got a JSON response, which has headers and IP, origin IP. So it means that the request just traveled from our sleep pod through KMS eBPF hooks in the kernel straight to that HTTP bin, as you can see here, and it had no overhead, it had no hook, like it was straight to HTTP bin, no sidecar proxy, no extra hop. That's the entire point of KMesh. Let's not just talk my word for it through. Let's actually look inside KMesh and see this workload setting in its live state. So let's just grab the KMesh daemon pod's name. Okay, now note this pod name. Now, let's just see what Kmish currently knows. The straight form is EVP of maps. So we would do Kmish CTL. Now, somewhere in that output, okay, it has failed. This error tells us that we have to find mode, that whether it is working on kernel native or dual engine mode. So how do we find that? So if we have to find it, so get, we will run this command. Let's find mode. And here our mode is dual engine. So let's just change, let's just run it with the mode. That is whatever our ID was, that is. So see this error, then it means that our kernel name is like, it is not, it is unique. So we don't need our pod names unique. So we don't need namespace flag here. So we just need to do this. That is, so yep, as you can see,